is this lightsaber worth over $1,500? You want to stick around to find out. Hey nerds, welcome back to the Fellowship of the Nerds. I am your host as always, LUKESHIREWALKER, and today, well, we have this amazing, beautiful lightsaber from All Sabers. Absolutely cool, and you're going to want to know, is this thing worth over $1,500? What does it do? Does it spin by itself? Unfortunately, nope. You're going to have to rotate it yourself. Spoiler alert. But it has a lot of other cool features. I want to walk you through it. Now, putting aside the question if it spins by itself, which I have to say, I have seen prototypes out there, people doing the whole auto spin. It looks a bit cumbersome. I think the technology will get there at one point. It's not there yet, and once it does, then there will be a question if it'll be something that we mass produce or not, because that's also, you know, something that will be very interesting to see. And if all of those combined, then yeah, maybe we will see Inquisitor's lightsaber that rotate automatically. Who knows? For now, this is what we get, and you're gonna get a lightsaber that is, you think that it's heavy, but to be fair, with the two blades on, I would say that the Satil Shan double lightsaber that we saw not that long ago is a lightsaber that is heavier. So do have that in mind. This is relatively easy on the hand. Now, before we go into full details of the hilt and the rings and all the meaning that this has and how does it actually work, let's unbox properly this lightsaber. And as we open our amazing All Sabers box, we are going to find, it's going to have this foam protecting, and look at this. Look at this amazing, beautiful lightsaber. Now here, it comes with this, which, as you can see, is the plaque for the character. I think this is amazing, and the fact that it comes like this is already ready to display. We also gotten our very own plaque from Nerdzoot for the Seventh Sister with the details with the logo of Rebels. I think this is pretty cool, but you're going to get this with the saber, which I think is fantastic. You're going to get all the tools that you need here. Okay, and you're going to get, you see these screws? These screws, black screws, are going to be very important, as you're about to see, because once we got the lightsaber out, there's a couple of things that you're going to have to realize. Now, first of all, this is an exterior core, an exterior double core, okay? And the way to activate is, you see this part of the hilt that looks like an A? So that's your main switch.
I've been searching for you for some time.
And as you can list here, there, it has the Seventh Sister Soundfont not included on the hilt. This is one that we put it. This is one Sith, Seventh Sister. Funny enough, by default, what it came with was with the Second Sister, but there's that. So we added the Seventh Sister to be our starting point. But you're going to want to guide yourself by this. So the one that looks like an A, that's your main switch. And once you do that, then you can turn them on. That's absolutely fine.
You handle a lightsaber well, apprentice.
But whatever you're done with that, then you're going to want to.
Such a noble act, just like a Jedi.
We've changed that, so instead of saying the usual power off, it has another quote from the character, but that means that the power is now off. Now you're going to want to ask me, what blade does this take? So it takes 7/8 of an inch blade, comes with your blade plugs. You can see it there. And you're going to want to know, how do you access your chassis? Now, your chassis in this one is going to be very funny, because it can only be accessed if you go through this screw right here. So you're going to see this has two screws. One is a flat screw, and one is your an Allen type of screw. This is the one. Neither of these screws are screws that you want to touch in any way, shape, or form. So do not. But this is the one that you're going to want to touch. So in order for you to do that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take out your tool, brew wrench that you're going to want to get. So you're going to want to screw this, and this is a very, 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 very long screw, as you would have seen the ones on the box. Okay. See, it's very long. So don't lose that. You're there. And you're going to want to use this to remove your blade plug. And then all you need to do there you go. And that is out. Okay, you have your access there to your SD card. And you can see your core. And you can see your charging, although I would recommend, if you're going to be charging this, to just remove the battery and charge directly the battery. That way you'll never run the risk of damaging the core by using the wrong charging link. Now, in order for you to put this back in, you're not gonna be able to see it here. So let me remove the other blade plug real quick. There we go. So now you can see through, hopefully. You really can on camera. But reality is that you're going to see a groove, and that groove is going to align with this. Okay, so you're going to want to put this through the groove that you're going to see on this side of that hill, and simply slide it down. You can see it there. So you're going to want to slide all the way down. Okay, and once you do that, if you don't quite get it, and it might be the case, like it is now, you're going to want to push that with a blade. And you put it, you essentially push it with your blade. So it goes in, and after a bit of wriggle with the blade.
I've been searching for you for some time.
It's remember that always this side has this like letter, this Arabic letter that sort of looks like a big A. That's the one that's your main ignition, so always remember that. And then of course you're going to want to then go back, put your screw back in, and boom, there it is. And you also want to ensure that whenever you're putting your screw, whenever you pass your finger like this, that you cannot feel it out, that you feel it that's inside of the little hole there, and you don't want any protuberance out of it, so that way you know that's 100% in its place. And that's how you access that, and you'll be able to use your hilt. Now let's go over the hilt itself. Okay, now that we've seen the unboxing in full, let me walk you through how you can operate this lightsaber. So this lightsaber, you're going to be able to use it like this, and on half circle or half moon or half ring, whatever you want to call it, or entirely like this. The details of the hilt are on both sides. So you can see there, that's everything. However, because it has 4 buttons, right? So 2 ignitions for 2 cores plus 2 aux, you're going to want to know which one you should be aiming for. Now, you're going to want to look for the one that has this like A logo, which is something that we're saying on the unboxing. Once you spot that, that's essentially your main, like actually your main.
I've been searching for you for some time.
And that will activate your lightsaber, and then you can either, do this, or you can shake it. It is, I'm not gonna lie, this lightsaber is a bit tricky to turn on and off with that gesture, but it does turn on and off. So have that in mind. It's just that for some reason, I've only been able to get it done while I'm holding it with both hands. If I do it with one hand, it doesn't seem to, see, doesn't seem to want to play ball. But obviously with one hand, you can do this, and this looks absolutely cool. And this is very similar to what we already saw with the Second Sister Lightsaber, which is somewhere up there. I don't think that you can see it, but if you remember that review, it does that functionality, and I thought that that was very cool. And that's also an Ultimate Works lightsaber that you can also get from All Sabers. Now, to be fair, to determine if a lightsaber is worth $1,500 or not, you're going to be wanting a lot of things. And one of the things that I can tell you right now is that if there's a way to decrease that price, and there is, because you can get this lightsaber using our discount code LUKESHIREWALKER, and that will get you, you'll see it here on the screen somewhere, and that will get you a 20% discount. But on top of that, if you get any of the Ultimate Works lightsabers that All Saber sells, and you get 3 of them, so you either can get them yourself or you can combine the order with 2 other people. It doesn't matter if it's the same lightsaber 3 times, but you will get 50% off of the total price. So, you know, that's something that will help you get there, I think. Now, what do you say if we check out the lightsaber and we rate it, so you know if it's actually worth this money?
I've been searching for you for some time. You're good. Maybe some of your friends will survive.
Okay, first of all, we're going to start our ratings with sound. Now, this lightsaber, I'm only going to turn on one side. This is the Second Sister Soundfont, Seventh Sister, sorry, Soundfont, but it does not come with the Seventh Sister Soundfont out of the box.
Maybe some of your friends will survive.
This is one Sith Soundfont that we installed in this. This being an exterior core is relatively easy to access, and you're already seeing in the unboxing how to access the chassis, so you can pretty much do it yourself. But just have that in mind that it doesn't come with the Soundfont of the Seventh Sister, it comes with the Second Sister, funny enough. And that to me is gonna put this back down to a 8.5 out of 10, because it doesn't come with it. And this is not a extremely easy core to access for you to then be able to, you know, be going back and forth with, you know, trying to access it, get the everything on the SD properly. It, fortunately, being a stereo, it is very easy to program, but because it doesn't come out of the box, and because of how cumbersome it is to access the chassis, that will be the reason for that rating. Now, on the sound, I am a bit brokenhearted or two minds with this one, because the quality of this, the sign, the details of this, the beauty of the hilt itself, the fact that you will see your blade through here and through here when it's on, the fact that this catches itself on, the fact that it's incredibly straightforward to open and fold your ring, to me is a 10. But you would have seen already how on the unboxing how cumbersome it is to access the chassis, is what we were saying with the sound. So I initially expected that you should be able to like access your chassis through, like you unscrew this and this will come off or something, and you'll be able to just act. And I was shocked that that's not the case at all, and it's not intuitive whatsoever. So the fact that it's that not intuitive, the fact that it has those many flaws in my mind, made me think this thing is a 7.5, but the beauty of it gives it a 10. So I thought, you know what, okay, we'll split the difference somewhere. We're gonna give this an 8.5 on the sign. Ergonomics, this thing doesn't spin on its own. It is a damn shame. Let's not kid ourselves about that. But because it's so easy to rotate by yourself.
You handle a lightsaber well, apprentice.
That I think the ergonomics of this, the fact that it's surprisingly lighter than you would expect it to be the fact that it's so simple to use, the fact that the rings never get in your hands when you're trying to use it. Doesn't matter if you're talking about half ring or full ring, you never feel like, oh, what am I doing, or anything like that. So that gives it a very high mark for me, and that gives it in total a 9.5 in ergonomics. It's not a 10 because, you know, the texture of the actual hilt, it feels a bit like brushed, but obviously it's not brushed because this part itself is not metal, but that's that sensation, and that could make it slide a little bit off your hand. So that's the reason why it doesn't get a 10, but it gets a 9.5. So all of those ratings combined, you're gonna get your total rating. And if you're new to the channel, you wouldn't know this, and if you are, please subscribe. Now I'm talking about it, but that will mean that normally everything that's above an A, we will recommend this. So this lightsaber is gonna get recommended from the Fellowship of the Nerds. I will point out that yes, I am aware that the price is high, but like I said, you have two options of getting this lightsaber at a cheaper price. You can use the discount code LUKESHIREWALKER for 20% off. You're only getting one. If you want to get three, and when I mean three, I mean if you want to get, you know, two other people that want this lightsaber and you all want to get one, you can get together and buy the three. Or if you buy any of the other Ultimate Works lightsaber that All Sabers sells on their website, you combine it and you get 15% off, sorry, 50% off in total of all of the order, which I think sweetens the deal and makes it a more reasonable lightsaber, a more affordable lightsaber, because this is a lightsaber, like I said, we recommend. You do not want to.
Just like a Jedi.
Thank you. I do try to be noble and try to save you guys some money. So this is a lightsaber that you want to get. And of course, if you can get it with either 20 or 50%, why wouldn't you? And nerds, that's our review. I hope that you find that insightful. I hope that you find it interesting. I hope that you'll pick one of these up. Let me know in the comments if you are going to. Remember to subscribe so I can keep on tabs on what you guys say, and you can come back because we're going to be doing more of these lightsabers. And this is essentially what we do. We always want to make the conversation whenever we're discussing lightsabers for you guys to know, is this worth my money? And in this case, even though it's a little bit steep, I will admit it, this is a lightsaber that's so magnificent that you, in my opinion, you have to have it. And of course, I already explained the two ways on the video that you can get it for a cheaper price, so there's always that. Folks, I have been your host, as always, Luke Skywalker. And look, I hope that you keep on tuning in. It's really a pleasure to be doing these videos for you guys. Until we meet again, remember, the Force will be with you, always. Remember to live long and prosper, and may the odds be ever in your favor, Melanin. And until we meet again, this is Chief Manage. I'll see you around, nerds.